What is up, everybody? Welcome to the newest episode Behind the Loo. I have returned from my illness, sort of. I'm still not feeling great, but
Just your hiatus.
yeah.
Yeah.
My voice is still kind of fucked up. That's why. So we're through week one. We still have this last weekend to go through, so the first week of the season is complete. And the Cardinals, they just played Milwaukee last night. Did not go well at all.
What do you mean, Brennan? What went
So,
wrong?
uh, what did you think went wrong?
Well,
It's pretty.
I see a big zero next to our team, so
Yeah, that's part of it, and Jack Flaherty allowing 6 walks again. So it's just this is just we went in against Brandon Woodruff yesterday, so the offense being low is not that I'm not really as concerned about it. So I'm gonna cover everything though, because there's a lot of people that are panicking because a lot has happened within the last week. So after we ended the Blue Jay series, which was really high, I know when you guys did the episode, you guys were talking about how bad the pitching was through that weekend. Even though a lot of people's emotions were high through it, everyone was still you guys paid attention to how bad the pitching was through that series in general. And going through spring, well, hang on, let me back up. Like going through the offseason, we talked about the pitching staff countless times. So many fans have talked about it, that it's going to be a problem. And they didn't do much to address it. They bet on everybody else again. And we get to spring training, and everything looked pretty good. Besides Wainwright struggling to keep velocity, I thought the bullpen looked good. I thought Jordan Hicks looked great through spring.
Jordan Hicks did look good. I mean, he always looks good, though. I swear.
Not now.
No, not anymore.
Yeah, and then you had Helsley look good. You had Gallegos, like the bullpen looked all great, and then I don't know. Then the season just started, and Miles looked great in spring too. And the first start with Miles against the Blue Jays, I wasn't really that alarmed by it because that game was back and forth all over the place. Like Alex Manoah was getting shelled by us, and they were shelling us too. So it was just like, it was just gonna be one of those games. So I wasn't really that worried about Miles at first. Jordan Montgomery against the Blue Jays was
not great.
Well, I mean, our offense carried him, but it was like they puts up 4 runs.
Yeah.
And we put up 4 runs in the first inning. Well, hang on. We put up 4 runs in the first inning. Then the next inning, Jordan Montgomery gives up 3. And it's like you can't give up that many runs in one frame at all when your offense just gave you 4 runs in the first inning. You're not going to win games that way if they keep continuing to go down this path. And then Montgomery only had 3 strikeouts through that. I think it was 5 innings that he pitched that day. Then who was next? It was, let me pull up the whole schedule, because after the Montgomery start, it started to realize that it was going to be bad. And, Flaherty start. That's when I was missing. Montgomery's was a Sunday. Flaherty's was a Saturday. Flaherty's was the strange one that was like 5 innings, no runs, no hits, but 7 walks. It was really bizarre. But yeah, I don't know. And then that start was just kind of weird. So going into the Braves series, it didn't look so hot because we had Jake Woodford starting the series off, and that did not go well. Jake Woodford, I feel bad for the guy. He's never been able to have an opportunity to be on the big league roster and be in the rotation, but he doesn't really deserve it because what he did, what day was that? Monday or Tuesday? I think it was Tuesday. No. Wait, hang on. Yeah, Monday. Yeah, it was just bad. I mean, You can't like. I just don't know how we had 3 strikeouts the entire game, and you pitched 4.1 innings, and now you have a 12.46 ERA and with a 2.31 WHIP. Like you gave up 6 runs in 4.1 innings. Like that can't happen at all. Like you like it doesn't matter how generational your offense is, which I think this Cardinals offense is. You're not going to win games when like you're pitching just giving up that many runs, and it's all been happening like within the first inning.
I don't know if it's just like a bad, like they don't know how to start because of the pitch clock or what. Because I like the opening day with Miles Michaelis, with him, his struggles, you could tell that he was really trying to like rush his routine, and he looked uncomfortable the entire time.
Well, Miles has always worked fast, so
Yeah,
I don't
but
think that really makes sense. Like I don't think none of our like I think our bullpen would make sense. Like I think Jordan Hicks with the pitch clock makes sense, but I don't really correlate that with the pitching, like the starting pitching, because most of our starting pitchers are not slow, especially Miles. He's one of the fastest pitchers. He grabs the ball and goes.
yeah, I
That's
don't
what he's
know. It's
always
just like
done.
the entire, just from what I saw, it just looks like they're all starters have just been uncomfortable for whatever reason, and I don't.
I think it's just because they're not good, Sean. I think it's just that simple. They're not good. Steven Matz, we give you the deal last year. You had a bad year because you're hindered with injuries. I get it. Bad luck. You come out against the Braves. What do? You again. So you had 7 strikeouts. That's an improvement, but you gave up 4 runs in 5.1 innings. And have you noticed the trend here? There's all these pitchers can only go 5 innings. And they're not like being pulled early. They're around like high 90s when they're getting pulled. So then that puts to a situation where your bullpen's being used a lot. You have not used Helsley all week because you haven't been in the situation to win. So these depth pieces like Hicks and Packy Naughton, Chris Stratton, Drew Verhagen, they're all being used a lot more than what they probably should be because you're not going deeper into games. That Steven Matz start was the most disappointing one because it was just like you had really high hopes for it, and you were going against the offense was going against a rookie pitcher who was making his major league debut, and we couldn't do anything against him at all. That's what sucks. And kind of going to the offense after the Miles Michaelis comment, because this will wrap up the Braves series for the pitching wise. Miles on Wednesday afternoon did not do well. Yeah, they didn't do it as bad. But actually, no, it was just as bad. 5 earned runs, 6 strikeouts. It was pretty much the same line. Besides, instead of 3 innings, it was 6 innings. So he gave up 9 hits. So he's just getting shelled more. He had a better start than the Toronto series just because he went longer. But I mean, he's still giving up 5 earned runs, and it's all within like the first couple innings. Because that's why I want to go to the offense though. Is like how is this offense supposed to be motivated to go up to bat when the first inning comes and they're already down like 3-0 or 2-0, and then they don't have any motivation to. And then this offense has another problem right now to where no one's getting the big hit. It's very reminiscent of last September. We get like there's just so many singles. There's no like barrels or anything. It's just like little bloop hits, and we get on base, and we got a lot of them. But when you rely on the singles, you end up having to where you just aren't driving anybody in. That's what happened all day yesterday. We had like the bases loaded 2 times, and the first time was Tyler O'Neill grounds out and on a pitch that would have been ball 4, and then Wilson Contreras grounds out on a pitch that would have been ball 4. So it's just like, I mean, you have to have more instead of just relying on these singles and walks to just get the bases loaded. You need to come through with the big hit, and they just aren't doing that. And I don't know what's causing it. Like I know offense can come and go, And the thing that just worries me is like, I know it's very early in the season, and people will just keep saying that on Twitter. It's like, it's very early, don't panic. But I think people have a right to be concerned, because I mean, the last few years of Cardinal baseball, what has it been? It has been questions about the rotation. And this is probably one of the worst starts of a rotation that I've seen in a very long time. And when that is starting off poorly, and that was the main concern, do I think it's going to be this bad through the entire season? I don't, but it's going to be a reoccurring issue, I feel. It's going to be a reason why we lose games.
Yeah, and you're looking at like the big two stars of Nolan and Paul, and they're doing their best too at times. I mean,
Well,
last couple of games they haven't had too much, because it looks like Paul only had 3 at bats against Milwaukee, and same with Nolan.
Paul Goldschmidt looked rough yesterday. Paul was just like, I don't know, he just looks defeated. They all look defeated. And I'm gonna go back to the Brave series, because it all kind of comes back to this. The Tyler O'Neill situation with what happened with the hustling thing. I'm sure you guys have heard about it, so I'm not going to go in much detail. It's been talked about everywhere. There was a play, it was 1st and 2nd with 2 outs. The Cardinals were down by 3, and Brendan Donovan comes in and he pinch hits for Andrew Kisner. He gets a bullet line drive over the second baseman's head in the outfielder, Ronald Acuna. Tyler is running second, and they send him to go home, which was a very awkward play, because Acuna has one of the best arms in baseball. Yes, Tyler has one of the best sprint speeds, but it was not a very deep fly ball at all. So he's rounding the bag, and the camera angle that Bally showed looked really weird. It did not look like he was going full effort at all. And then he ended up being out by like 8 feet. It was not even close. It looked very ugly.
And you can tell by like the way O'Neill's running up to third. He's like, he kind of has like a shocked, like staggering motion as he's going around. He's like, "Oh, you're waving me in?" Like, I haven't, like, he's surprised that he had that much time.
And it's just, and then after the game, Ollie said that what he did was unacceptable, and that there's too many other people fighting for a job for him to be doing that. And then it was just like, in the second day, he like doubles down on it, saying like that you're not going to play if you are going to, if you're going to like play that way. And it's just, to me, it's like, first of all, I have a lot of respect for Ollie Marmol as a manager. I think he's done a lot good than bad. And I've sat through this situation a lot and tried to figure out what I feel about it. I don't see a need for this. Like, what was the need to call him out?
I think there's like 2 ways you can look at it, right? So, like, obviously, as a player, you have to like trust, especially the third base coach. That's like the most crucial out of like the first and third base coach. That's obviously the most crucial, because they're saying when you clear after you get to first base, it's all on him. And so either A, you know Acuna's got the ball and he's waving you home, and you know you're going to get thrown out, and you do what Tyler O'Neill did and just kind of just slow up on the brakes. And you're just confused. Honestly, he might have just been confused.
It was really wet too. It was raining.
Yeah.
And then he had hamstring problems.
Right.
Like, that was the whole reason, was like, he said that he wasn't going as full max effort because he has changed his running program to where he could play 160 games.
And
so
then
it's
the
like,
second option is like, you know Acuna's got the ball, the guy's waving you home, you trust him, you just turn on the jets. And that's probably how the Cardinals, or how Ollie's looking at it, is that no matter what that third base's coach is doing, you're going to do it, because you're not staring at the ball. You should just
he
go,
was staring.
You know what I mean?
He was staring at the ball too, which was just
the
problem, because it's like slowed him down. But I think it just kind of caught him off guard. It's like, why am I being sent here? It was an awful send. And the thing is the reason why it pissed me off was it seemed like I'm fine with you calling out your players. I actually encourage that for some cases because I think Mike Schilt and Mike Matheny did not do that enough. The thing is like it just seems a little bit too tough guy-y because you can't tell me that guys like Nolan and Goldschmidt, or maybe not Goldschmidt, but Nolan has not put max effort into running before.
Or
Right.
like I
You
like
can't-
this
it's-
idea of like Nolan looking at Ollie and being like, Ollie, what the fuck you doing? You're not LaRussa. Chill out. Like we're only this many games in and you're already busting our balls. Like relax.
Yeah, it's like, and like, I mean, I think you should be playing max effort all 162. But the thing is at what cost though? Because the situation was it was raining, it was wet. You're down by 3. This one run is not going to change anything. Even if you stopped on third, you still had Tommy Edman and Dylan Carlson batting right-handed because it was a left-hander on the mound, which is their more dominant side that they bat on. And then you had Nolan and Goldschmidt after. There was no need to send Tyler there because it wasn't going to make an impact in the game. And then it's like, okay, you didn't like how he ran. I get it. That's fine. You could feel that way. And you could call him out. But I don't know if it was right to call him out on the media the first day. But even if he did, I would be more okay with it. The problem I have is when he came back the second day and still doubled down on him and said that like it was still unacceptable and coming back the second day and doing it. It's like, why are you bringing it back up again for a second day? Because now, ever since that moment, they have not been the same team. They don't have like the same energy that they had. It just seems like everyone's pissed off. And there's this other podcast, Baseball Today, with Trevor Plouffe and Chris Rose. Trevor Plouffe is close with Jack Flaherty and is close with just different people in baseball, like in major leagues. And he asked people in the Cardinals organization what they felt about it, and they're all confused. Because they're like, because when have you ever heard anyone say that Tyler O'Neill does not hustle or does not
Right.
try?
Especially
I've
with
just
never heard that.
Out of the like blue comment.
And like the way he trained over the offseason too is like he fucking like there's that awesome picture that came out during spring training of his fucking arms where he's just jacked up like he's
Yeah,
been
he's
working out
huge.
for
You
like
see how
years.
you're not
like
you can't be that big and not fucking try.
yeah,
the
like,
fuck?
You're paying
Like,
me all
I
this
just-
money to not try. Like
I get it. Like I said, I get it. It's not like he's a rookie though either, because they did it with Bader last year. Bader had like a pop out and he didn't run full speed, so Ollie just benched him. And it's just like, I mean, I get it. You gotta hold on. You gotta hold people accountable, and you want to set an example, especially when you have a lot of young guys in this clubhouse. I completely understand, but I just feel that you have like, it just seems like this was not changing anything. You're not changing anything about what, like, it doesn't do any good to you. You're just bashing on the guy for what?
so
It doesn't change anything.
it's the same thing that happened to Bader, right? All I'm saying is like history repeats itself, and you know if they're saying, "Oh, you got people that you're replaceable," then fucking trade him and get better rotation, start like pitching.
Well,
at
I
any
don't think
point or
they're
anything like that.
I think Bader's the trading O'Neill is different to me. I don't know if I like that move. Oh, well, hang on.
Well,
I
think
would
about
definitely.
it, Brennan. I mean, he's an
No, it makes the most sense. But here's the problem I have. I think you need something more than what you got with Jordan Montgomery last year. You need something bigger. If you're gonna make a serious run, you need something bigger than a Jordan Montgomery acquisition. And Tyler O'Neill is not the player to do that. You're gonna need to give up a lot more.
If
Yeah,
there
A
I mean,
lot
was-
more.
if just like for the future before the deadline, is there a pitcher out there within reasonable trade limits? You know what I mean? Not like obviously you want Shohei Ohtani, who doesn't? I'm talking like a solid middle piece guy who is going to get you the strikeouts that nobody's able to produce right now.
I thought it might have been Chris Sale if he wasn't bad. I was hoping he might have done well, but no. There is it depends if he stays healthy. Tyler Glass now. He's the
Last
other
was a
pitcher.
dog.
I would love to have him, but
Yeah,
he's just
dude, I
not been
wish he would-
healthy.
I wish he
What?
never left Pittsburgh.
Well, I just think it's really funny because, like, in my mind, just because I don't know too much, is the fact that Bader was traded while. Well, I shouldn't say okay. You got someone who's starting in your rotation with Montgomery at times too, so it's like you would think you could trade almost anyone. Like you traded an injured person to help your rotation. Like
Well, that
I don't
was a
know. That's
weird.
just
That
my
was a
thinking.
weird. Well, that was a weird situation with Bader because the thing was is the Yankees really. Well, hang on. I think the Yankees wanted to have. I thought they had Pablo Lopez or Carlos Rodon trade done. I think that was talked about that they thought they had that deal done when they traded Montgomery and had the um agreement with them because then like when it turned out that that wasn't the case, then they lost a pitcher for no reason.
Right. Yeah.
And they got Bader, who was supposed to just be like a defensive replacement.
And I remember the narrative at that point whenever I was talking to you about it was that it didn't make sense that they needed pitching, so they traded a pitcher to get another outfielder.
I don't because they got Frankie Montas. I didn't understand why they did that. That didn't make any sense to me. But you know, I don't know. But one thing I want to say about Miles too is you got that extension. You need to fucking come out and show that you're worth it. Because yeah, I don't know.
Right now, it's lukewarm performance.
We just need something. I was hoping yesterday Jack Flaherty would have been the guy to come out and just shove for us and just get us out of this. But no, it was not him. So now we have Jordan Montgomery going today against Eric Lauer, and Jake Woodford versus Freddie Peralta on Sunday. And then we go to Colorado, and it's just the schedule just sucks. Because you played the Blue Jays, you played the Braves. Those are tough teams. Then you go play your division rival, and then you go play in Colorado with our pitching staff. Oh, it's gonna be I don't even know if I'm gonna watch it.
You can't tell me that your guys' fucking schedule sucks because I officially am done with the NHL scheduling. It's absolute bullshit. You have 0 games on yesterday, but now all 32 teams are playing today. That doesn't make any fucking sense.
Well,
I'm so mad about it.
Well, it's not MLB schedules. It's just the Cardinals schedule to start off the season just sucks. Just like the matchups that you have.
Yeah.
Like to go to Colorado this early sucks.
Like
then we come home and play Pittsburgh, and it'll be easy.
Yeah, no, it won't. That's weird because our record's a little better right now. I don't know why.
Well, you guys have not done, and you guys play the Red Sox.
It's a little weird. Yeah, we swept the Red Sox.
Can I tell you guys something though? Like, I don't understand. I don't know if, and this could just be me becoming more of a sports fan over the last 5 years. But do you remember growing up, like hearing either your parents or even being as much knowledgeable in sports and just thinking, man, this schedule fucking sucks. Like, I think that is just such a new term that has come out of the last 5 years or whatnot, at least in my mind from following now. That it's either an excuse or it's just something that is actually a problem. And if it's an actual problem, how the fuck do you not figure out scheduling in any major sport? Like,
well, I think with like social media and stuff and just connecting fan bases more, I think it just kind of brought out like more people are paying attention to this stuff. There's more diehard fans than ever before.
I guess
of different sports.
I just wish there was.
When were Wainwright and Nootbaar on the IL?
Oh, Wainwright's been on the IL since opening day.
Got in recently because of a thumb.
Yeah, the opening day he slid headfirst and jammed his thumb. He needs to come back. Nootbaar, he's an energy booster for this.
Yeah,
team.
We need the pepper grinding back in the lineups.
It's salt grinding now. That's the salt shaker. That's a new one. Just get rid of it. It's not working. We suck.
Go back to the pepper. It's too much salt. There's too much salt.
So overall, though, for the Cardinals, am I worried about them? No, but I think you could be concerned. Next episode next week will kind of give us a general idea because you have the rest of this Brewer series. You go to Colorado, and then that weekend you start playing Pittsburgh. That will be let's see where we are then. I think that would be a true test because it's just like, okay, you got some easier teams you're playing because then after Pittsburgh, you play the Diamondbacks, which will not be easy. They are a scrappy team. Then you go on this long road trip where you play the Mariners, Giants, and Dodgers, and then you come back home to play the Angels. So like this ain't an easy stretch. So hopefully next week we can equal it out. Hopefully somehow take the series against Milwaukee. I don't really see it happening, to be honest, though. So, but that's all I got for Cardinals stuff. I just pray that our pitching just works itself out.
Remember how before we started recording this, we were like, Brenner, are you just going to be able to rant?
Yeah, that's what it was.
Told you.
And, he said, no, it's going to be a conversation.
I don't know. We got some good words in. The only thing I could touch on.
Oh, Vladdy.
Dude,
Vladdy's
I went to
return.
that game.
That was cool.
Ooh! That was the most Twilight Zone kind of game I've ever been to, because Kelly is a huge Vladimir Tarasenko fan. That's the only reason why I got tickets for that game, was just for Kelly to see Vladdy and the Rangers. And she was totally like 100% bought into it. She's like, "Oh, I'm a Rangers fan today. You're on your own. Good luck." So we get there, and if you get early to the games, you can go down to ice level and see the players up close and whatnot. I was on the Rangers side, of course. I had never seen that many people on a visiting side ever, and I'm the fucking dummy there. I own the Rangers have a backup goalie named Yaroslav Halak. He played for the Blues way back when. I think he was one of the best goalies in Blues history, along with Brian Elliott, but that will be a conversation for a later date. And my brother owned a Yaroslav Halak jersey. So there I am, that fucking loser, the only person with a Yaroslav Halak jersey, being like, "Halak!" like, welcome back, while everyone's screaming for Vladdy. But no, to go into that game, a lot of Rangers fans, super obnoxious, but that's whatever. Because if you listen, and you probably heard this on the Valley Sports broadcast, you would just hear them start trying to do the "Let's Go Rangers" chant constantly. Super annoying. I got very emotional during the tribute thing, more emotional than I thought. I got legitimately teary-eyed because I think, finally, after all the dust settles from the trade deadline and everything, you kind of get to appreciate his career with the Blues, and the fact that, Jarmo Kekalainen, who was the, director of drafting at that time, now manager of the or general manager of the Columbus Blue Jackets, that was his parting gift from before he left to go into manager stuff, because he took a chance on Tarasenko. I think a lot of people forget, around that time, no one was taking Russian players because they had the KHL and they were finally shelling out money to those players and whatnot. And, for him to uproot his life in Russia and take the money that the Blues were offering and to come here and play, devote 11 years, is something I think that not a lot of people realized during the time, especially in the last 2 or 3 years, whenever he was injured and talking about trade requests and whatnot. At the end of the day, it's still a person who devoted a lot of time to St. Louis, and that's something we should what'd you put in there, Brennan?
Nothing.
Do I want to know? I'm gonna open it.
Okay.
Wait, it's loading.
I just saw that on Twitter. I had to put that in there. I don't care if it was
okay.
live.
I don't know. Will that show up on the video?
No, it won't.
It
Oh,
should. That's
You
hilarious.
could probably put an edit then right there, just right on the side or something.
I can't believe that's on. I'll put it on the video.
Okay.
It's funny.
But anyways, also most pop for an opposing player to score. Literally the whole stadium cheered for Tarasenko when he scored on the power play. But Blues won. Kasperi Kapanen in overtime, meaning we're moving further down in draft selection, so we'll probably be around. I think we said that, I forget who tweeted it. I don't know if it was Jeremy Rutherford or someone else, but they said it was going to be either around 8th or 9th to, I think, at least the lowest we can go, I think, is around 12th or 13th, which is still a high pick. But if you get top 10, no matter what, that's an amazing pick either way. The top 10 of this draft coming up is stacked up in such a deep draft. And not only that, but and I'll say this out too, and this will be my last thing, for people who wish that the defense will be updated. A rumor has come out, and this is a big one, that the Erik Karlsson trade to Edmonton was very close to being done, but he is guaranteed to be moved at the draft for the right price. you got Colton Parayko, you have 2 first-round picks, and you have a prospect in either Snuggerud, Bolduc, Dean now,
Nuggerud.
and or even the goalies that have come up in Zarenko, Colton Ellis. I'm just saying all the pieces are right there for the Blues to make that trade. And if so, give it to me. Give me Erik Karlsson, an old player at that elite level to be one of the first defensemen since I think maybe like Pronger or even later on who has 100 points on a season. That's like crazy to me. So that's about it on Blues front. Things to be
Yeah, their season's almost over. So
yeah, they
it's
have
about
about
to be
3 or 4 games left. I think it's this one against Minnesota tonight, and then the back-to-back against Dallas the next 2 games, which I kind of want them to win just to fuck over Dallas because they have those draft pick rights with New York. So whatever helps either New York, Dallas, or Toronto lose earlier makes me happier. So
yeah. But I get that completes everything this week. So yeah, hopefully next week we have better conversations on the Cardinal front because
we can also
just
talk
been
about
ugly.
some betting too with the playoffs are going to be locked in by next week for NHL, so we can put our bets in for who's going to win the cup too.
Yeah, I have to do
Yes.
research on that. I have not known much about it, but I will definitely put bets in.
It's a funky year. That's all I can say.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, we'll go ahead and we're gonna have more like starting going forward, we're gonna start doing more like betting content and gambling content more. I've noticed like
we're
some
going to
of those,
be broke.
those
I
tweets
just
have done
know
well.
I'm gonna be broke. There's a difference.
We'll Venmo you money.
Okay, that works.
But
Allegedly. Yeah, I don't know how the betting rules
Also,
work.
for what did we miss on that one parlay? Wasn't it a Jordan Montgomery strikeout? And
it was just Jordan
Walker home
Montgomery's
run?
strikeout.
Walker needed a home run too.
Oh,
right?
that's right. Yeah, he did.
And then the next day he
And
had
then
his
the
home
next
run.
day he hits. Whatever. First home run, he hits the next day.
It wasn't the next day. It was a few days because there was
No,
a Sunday.
it was the next day. I thought.
No, it wasn't. It was because he hit his home run on Wednesday, and we bet that on Sunday because it was the Sunday game with Montgomery pitching.
Yeah, that's true.
So, yeah, it wasn't the next day.
As soon as we end this, I'm making another one.
All right.
Tweet it
Well,
out.
yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. If you aren't subscribed, make sure you're subscribed and have
Follow
notifications
Twitter.
on. Follow our Twitter. We have a lot of shit coming out, and we're gonna still gonna be pushing out more content more than ever. Starting with since the season's underway. So be on the lookout for that. And until then, we'll see you guys later.